Hi everyone, this is Lisa Goodell, Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm going to show you how to make a camel card using the Night Divine bundle that has all these great dies that have to do with a nativity scene, and then they also have some stamps with wording. And also we're going to use Stars at Night. This bundle also has words, and then it has a bunch of stars for dies. And we're going to be using some Night Divine background paper. And we might, I don't know if we'll use any of the Shining Brightly 12 by 12 designer series paper, but I might show you some of that. Okay, so the one that we're going to make is this one, but I just wanted to show you just some variations that you can get because when we use this designer series paper, you can't make that many identical cards. Like it has 2 sheets like this, 12 by 12 in the packet. And so I'm going to show you how you can get 6 cards out of this one piece of designer series paper. And unfortunately, I already went through this whole thing and I did not press record. Otherwise, I was going to show you exactly how to cut this out, but I can still tell you. So basically what you do is vertically you cut at 4 inches and then 4 inches. So you would have 3 long strips. Okay, and then what you are going to do is turn the strip sideways in on your cutting board. So for example, if I have this here, okay, it would have been like this. I would have put this in here and I would have cut this at 5.5. And then you would also have this one would have a little extra, and so what I did is I cut it at 5.5 again, and then you have this extra. And so what we're going to do with this is we're going to trim it down, and then that will make some sand dunes down at the bottom. So here's an example of a different one that I took, and I just kind of trimmed it a little bit, and then we can glue that on the bottom. And so if you do that with all of them, then you're going to end up with 6 backgrounds from one 12 by 12 piece of DSP. On the back of these, it has a really pretty pattern. I like this. To me, that is a cool pattern. And so I want to show that off too. And so instead of putting this on a full card backing, for example, this one here is on kind of a base layer that's 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and then you score it and fold it to get your card base. And then you can put your background paper on here and then embellish how you would like. But on this one, you don't see the background of the paper. And so what I did is, since these are 4 inches across 4 by 5.5, what I did is I got some crumb cake and I trimmed this also at 5.5 by 4. This one's actually 5.5 by 4.25, and then I scored it at 1/4 inch. And so if you fold this little piece over, and you really need to burnish it really good because this is such a small piece. We don't want it sticking up. Then we are going to just glue the front of this onto the crumb cake on the back, and then when you open it, you'll still be able to see the other side of the designer series paper. Okay, and so the way I do this, well, I've done it several different ways the last 2 days as I've been experimenting doing Christmas cards. So what I found to keep this in place, I use my reversible tweezers. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift up this paper and put a line of the glue down here, and then I'm going to press it together. So I'm going to get this liquid mono glue. I don't know if you can really see this or not, but I've got just a very light bit of glue, And then I'm going to pick this. Well, I don't have to pick it up. I'm just going to press this down. And as I'm pressing this for probably about 5 seconds or so, you can also kind of look and see, does it look like it's lined up okay? And then once you get that in place, I'm going to open it up and make sure there's no extra glue, and there isn't. If there was, you'd want to set it open to dry. But I think this should be fine. And here, there's maybe a teeny bit extra over the front, and you can just trim that with your paper cutter if you want, but I mean, that does not bother me, so I'm just going to go ahead and leave that there. So the next thing that we want to do is get our camel die cut, and I am going to put that on this cool gold paper, and let me see, I want to get the name of this. Okay, this is called Gold and Rose Gold 6x6 metallic paper, and it has a really cool kind of stripes built in, kind of a grain built in. This is the rose gold, and here's the gold. I'm going to go ahead and do the gold. And so I'm going to use my Stampin' Emboss machine. And just to review, it tells you what order to put all the plates in. And we're just doing regular die cutting here. So we're going to start off with the number 1 plate on the bottom, and then the number 2 plate, and then there's 2 number 3 plates. And so here's my 2 plates that are number 3. It says 3 in the corner. And the way I use these is that I always put this one on the bottom. Sometimes I flip it over back and forth to try to keep it from getting too warped. And then on this one, this is the top one that I've just chosen never to put this on the bottom. And it seems like these have lasted longer since I've been doing it that way. So now I'm going to put on the gold paper, and I'm going to put the camel there for the die cut. I can scoot that over a little. Maybe I can cut out a star or something in where the extra is. Okay, and then I'm going to put my next plate on. And so as I turn this, you probably can't see too much, but I kind of put my elbow down on the edge to keep it down and to get it all going good. And so then when it goes across, then you're done. Now, sometimes with this specialty paper, I will run it back through again, just to make sure that it gets it cut out, because this paper is a tiny bit thicker. Okay, so now this is gonna, oh yeah, this came out really easy because I went over it. Okay, and then I'm gonna poke out these little pieces. And here's our camel. Here's these little pieces that need to come out. There's 3 of them. Okay. Move this out of the way, that out of the way. Okay, and so here is going to be our camel. Okay, maybe I'll put him up so he's showing against the blue sky a little bit. You can see this other one that I did. It's a little bit different. This is one where I cut off the bottom and glued that on, where this one is already like that. I didn't have to add the piece. Okay, so I'm going to put the camel there, and I think I'm going to go ahead and do the stars are brightly shining. So I have a little piece of paper. I was doing this before. Okay, I'm going to use Misty Moonlight for this. And I'm going to get out the Night Divine stamp set. And I'm going to get this one, the one that says the stars are brightly shining. That comes from a Christmas Carol. Let's see, this probably will fit on here. Now, I found when I was doing this, if you notice this here, the Y kind of sticks out. And so if you want to get this all the way on this heartfelt hexagon punch, you're going to have to cut that off. But to me, that looks fine. That doesn't bother me at all. I'm going to lightly tap that twice. Then I'm going to put this over here. Need to go up a little bit. Let's see if I did that correct. Here's the Heartfelt Hexagon Punch. This is an online exclusive that I just got. So the way you do use these punches, you turn them upside down so you can see exactly where it's going to be. And I think that looks pretty good. Make sure the bottom is going to work. Whoop. Okay. That looks good. Then you're just going to punch it out. Oh, I just dropped that. I'm not really supposed to bend over too much. I have a little grabber that helps. I'm recovering from surgery. And I'm doing really well, but that is a little tricky bending over. I had a hysterectomy, so that is a pretty big surgery. I did that about 2 weeks ago. I've got 4 more weeks to recover before I need to go back to work. I had endometrial cancer, but I got the results this past week that they were able to get it completely out, and so I am now cancer-free. I'm very grateful for that. And let's see, I think we're going to put this up here for the star. Maybe I'll just go over this star right there. Here's these cute little star trinkets. I'm going to put one of those on top of there. Now, another thing that you can do, this is just kind of an extra, you know, see how this one has the big white shiny star that's a part of the designer series paper, where this piece didn't really have so much of that. So what I think I'm going to do, I'm going to make my own. And you can just use any type of white gel pen. I'm going to use a Posca pen. Let me see if this is, oh yeah, that's going to work. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to make this bigger. So I'm just going to go up, go down, go across. And, you know, I'm not really worried about getting this perfect. Oh, I think this is running out of ink. Okay, let me get a scrap paper to do. Oh, look at that. One push down and I got a huge, huge bubble. Okay. Okie dokie, let me get rid of that. Try this again, and I think I have another one that I had to add my own star on. Let me find that. Oh, it's this one. Okay, so this is a different card that I made. I put the nativity on front, and I did gold embossing for Oh Holy Night. But over here, this is another one that did not really have a big white star on it, and so I just made my own. Okay, so that's kind of like what I am doing here. And I think I'm gonna make some more. I'm gonna do some more dots just to add some more interest. Okay. All right. So as that dries, I'm going to glue these on. Yeah, I'm going to glue that. Okay. This. All right. Put this down in this corner. Oh, you know, I think on some of these I had raised that up. Like, look at this one. I did put that on some Stampin' Dimensionals. I didn't here. I didn't think about it, but that's okay. We'll just leave it off. This is just a little, this glue dispenser has a tinier nozzle, so you can get to really thin places better than this. But I just put this mono glue in this. So it's the same stuff. It's just, it is going to come out smaller, especially when you're doing these skinny, skinny camel legs. And it works if you're doing the little tiny stars if you use the die cuts. Okay. Okay, and I'm going to pick this up again. All right, and so I think I want this a little higher than the picture, or the wording, so I'm going to put him like this. And you want to hold this down, you know, maybe for 8 or 10 seconds, because sometimes it will stick back up. I did one of these earlier and I came back to it and the little leg was sticking up in the air. So it doesn't hurt just to push it down just for a few seconds. All right, so here's another star that I cut out using this gold paper. So I'm going to put that on next, and then I'll put the little trinket. Okay, so again, I'm going to grab this with the reverse tweezers. This helps hold it down as I'm trying to put glue on it, and then it just helps it adhere to the paper too. Okay, so I'm going to put this right over the top in the center of that. Try to make it so it is vertical. I know there's a couple of other cards I made where it's a little tiny bit skewed, but you know, it's homemade, so I'm still going to keep those. But of course, you don't want it to be too crooked. So, okay, now I'm going to take my Take Your Pick tool. Okay, so on here, you could do a big one or a little one. Let me do a big one, because the one I made just before that unfortunately was not filmed. I thought I had pressed record. Actually, I should probably check. Yes, it's still recording good. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to put this on again. Try to make sure that it is vertical. And I just kind of press it down hard a little bit. Okay, then we are done with the front of this card. And when you open it up, it has the pretty backside of the pattern paper, and then it has crumb cake for the base. Now, what I would do is, if you want to embellish more, you know, hey, you know, why not go for it? For example, here's the nativity cutout. You know, maybe you'd want to put something there, and then put something on top as far as like, oh, holy night. You don't need to, because of course we already have the stars are brightly shining on the front. So you don't have to if you don't want to. It's up to you. Then the other thing is you could put a sentiment here. Maybe you'd want to do the one that's wishing you the best and brightest holiday season, or Merry Christmas, celebrating the magic of the season. I'm going to leave mine blank, because sometimes what I do is put in just a little quarter sheet piece of paper that might give a little news for the year. So, so for right now, I'm not going to do any more with that. But this would be one of my cards. Okay, and let me show you. This is the one that I did where I didn't record, but you can see it's very similar. This one had a bigger star in the sky. This one, I just made that one myself. So, but you can see they're pretty similar. This is with the misty moonlight. This looks like that might have been black, but I think either one looks fine. And then on the inside, they are the same, and that's the back. And let me show you another one. Okay, this is something similar. This one I put 2 camels on it, and I put the same on the crumb cake, so that would end up matching here. And then here's a different star that I did. And then the last one that I want to show you of this camel series. Okay, so this one's a little bit different. This is one of the first ones I did before I thought about making it so you can see both sides of the pattern paper. So this is on a crumb cake base, and then I cut out the background. Now this one, you can't really see it, but this is another one where I took the bottom and I trimmed it, and then I glued it on the piece that's all sky. So I put that one on there, and then I put the camel. And for this one, I thought to be different, I would, since this camel was out of crumb cake, not the metallic gold, I just took a very, very tiny thin marker, and I just kind of traced it and added a little blanket on the camel's back. And then the other thing that happened on this is, I don't know if you can see that there's some Winca Stella around the outside of the camel, but there were two different places that I put too much glue under the camel, and so it's spread out. And so I wiped it down, but you could still see it. And so to cover that up, I took some Winca Stella and I just kind of went around the outside, so it's not noticeable anymore. But so that was just a little thing that I did to try to solve the issue. And on this one, since I have a really big star and then the camel, I decided not to do the stars shine brightly. But I could still do something like that here if I wanted to. Here's a card that I did take some of the other DSP that comes in this suite. This paper does not come with this background type paper. This one comes separately in Shining Brightly 12 by 12 designer series paper. So you could just put some of that on the inside if you would like. I do have a couple other cards that I can show you, just because I've been creating a whole bunch of these. Here's another example. These you can see I made with the starry sky with the sand dunes in the bottom. Okay, but these cards here I made with the paper that has Bethlehem. Okay, so here's one style, here's another style, and here's the other style. And basically what I'm looking at is the Bethlehem city scene. And then I just put some of the animals from the nativity on the bottom, and then I just did different stars based on how big they were. I didn't put a big star here because the city was up too high, but putting a big one here was all right. And then on the inside of this, again, you can still see the designer series paper, and then I just put the nativity scene down here. And on this one, what I'm also going to do, oh, here it is. Okay, so here's the other one that I had already done it. So the stars are brightly shining. I'm going to put that up at the top. I just haven't put it on this one yet. And then this one is the same thing. I'm going to add that phrase. But on this one, I want to show you, because I was experimenting. So this one is about 1/4 inch to fold that up to join the two pieces. This one was more like 1/2 inch. So I was experimenting with different sizes. And here you can see that there's a little bit of extra here and here, which this doesn't bother me at all. I don't have a problem with that. And then on this one, I actually just took 2 sheets that were 4 by 5.5, and then I used some washi tape to go over. First, I only did one side, but it was kind of coming out, and so then I did the inside as well. So that's another idea. Oh, I have one more thing that I tried. So on this one, I actually used like circle dies from the, let me see, which one is that? The Stylish Shapes dies. And so I made 3 of them on here like a hinge. Now, what I ended up having to do is I had to put them on the inside too. But I would recommend when you put glue on, just put it on the 2 sides. Don't put it everywhere, because I had it in the middle. And so then that was showing through. So that's why I covered this up on the inside as well. But it is kind of thick as far as trying to get it. Well, I guess that folds pretty good. That's because I had it, I had a book on it trying to keep it flat instead of opening all the way up. So that's just another creative way that you might want to connect these. So I hope you got some ideas. If you have this nativity this suite. I think all of these look great no matter how big and different the stars are. I like them all. And oh, I know, I'm going to show you one more thing. I'm only making one of these, okay? But this is the same pattern as one of my Easter videos, except this was flip-flopped. So this part here was on this side, and then this part, the mountain and valley fold stuff, was on the other side, and I had an Easter bunny and Easter eggs, and it was super cute. So I thought I would try this with the nativity scene. And so this is what I did here. And I'm going to put this out as a decoration, but I am not going to make a bunch of these or try to mail them. This is pretty thick on here. It's a little fragile, but I'll turn it this way. I don't know if you can kind of see how I did that with the pattern paper. And then here I needed to add another piece. So I added another piece of blue, and then on top of that is where I put this phrase, "Oh Holy Night." And this is on a deckled rectangle die that I put that on. And so there's my nativity scene. So I hope you got some ideas. I know there's some beautiful, beautiful cards using this Night Divine, this whole suite. And so let me know what you think in the comments. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm happy to answer questions. And until next time, have a great day. Thank you.